Now, every form of our government is important, and being the York County Republican Party, I'm happy to introduce the chairman of the York County Council, Britt Blackwell, to talk to you about what's going on in the County Council.
I'm not much holding a microphone, but I want to kickstart Ralph's campaign. And if I can really put this up here, and I'd ask everybody to match this check for Ralph.
Thank you. $1,000.
I appreciate everything Ralph does in Washington. We need as many conservatives as we can get. I also want to say something for Rod. I got shocked this evening when I got here that he's leaving. He was born in York, kind of like me, a York County boy, and it shocked me, but you have to, the opportunities come and you have to leave. I'm going to miss him. He's a good friend and a great political advisor, and he always guided me when it came to the Sheriff's Department budget. Whenever Bruce was wanting more money, he quickly corrected me. So I wouldn't make that mistake.
That was the only mistake he made while he was here.
I'm going to grab my notes too. I know Paul's back at the back, so in case he asks me a bunch of statistical questions, I won't have an answer. I already have. But I do really appreciate Tyler letting me speak. I don't think I had a presentation last year, and I know I like to keep you updated on what goes on in York County. He's obviously doing an excellent job. One of the first times I've seen him, and I appreciate this opportunity. I guess I should say I'm kind of thankful for being here. I had quite a health scare, and a patient yesterday told me I'm part of the zipper club now, which means you're kind of split from your stomach up to your neck for heart surgery. And has anybody had open heart surgery here? Just curious? God bless you. It's quite a ride. But to get to county business, we're having quite an exciting year. York County is one of the fastest growing counties in the state. And just to point out, you know, we have 7 members. I guess you all know that. In fact, last year the county voted to make us a staggered term. So I have 4 years, three more years ahead. Another year as chairman. That'll be 8 years for me as chairman. So I said years ago that to the council members that asked me that I'm a big believer in term limits, and it's been quite an honor to be chairman. A tremendous thrill. I appreciate the opportunity, but I feel obligated to give other council members an opportunity to have that great satisfaction. So I probably won't run as chairman the next go around. I'll make a decision toward the end of the year because I don't want to be a lame duck, but I do believe that other council members need the same great opportunity that I've had. But getting back on council business, you know that with the growth we have, in fact, let me point out one other thing. Obviously, the council job is to provide fire and police protection and infrastructure. But one thing I added to it and pushed hard was jobs. I wanted to make York County the most business-friendly county in the state. And thanks to the work of the council, York County, third quarter last year, was the #1 job-producing county, not in the state, but in the nation. And actually, the #1 county for the year in the nation. So I think every council member should be proud of that work that they put into that. And I'm going to refer to my notes a little bit so I don't ramble too much. There has been some discussion about tax base, and I know there was some misinformation that we were kind of upside down. With Act 388, you need as many businesses as you can have to take care of the tax base. It's kind of unfairly burdened on the businesses. As a property owner, practice on Ebenezer Road, the property taxes were extremely high. So the more businesses we have, the better off the tax base is. And York County, the commercial industrial ratio is 60% of the tax base, residential is 40%. In fact, our health of our tax base is in the top 7 of the state, and the only counties that really do better than us are the coastal properties, for obvious reasons, with all the high-end coastal properties, and also Fairfield County because of the nuclear station there, although they do have some issues with nuclear stations in Fairfield. But our tax base is actually better than Greenville County, Spartanburg County, Lexington County, Richland County, just to name 4. But getting back to some of the things that the council, which is pretty much united in managing your tax dollars, that's the number one thing that we have to do, just be good stewards of your tax dollars. Back when I first got on the council, the health retirement fund for state employees was in quite a financial mess, so we addressed that some 5 years ago and put some money into it to kind of provide it continued life in York County, and we restricted future members that could get on because there's limited funds, so you can't just keep making promises. Last year with the 2018 budget, we put aside $5 million out of the general fund, out of the unrestricted funds, and here again, our unrestricted fund balance, despite the sheriff's office, was probably one of the most healthy, and I just love giving Bruce a hard time. He's a good friend, so sorry about
I'm
that.
glad you're making a joke out of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I do have your tag number, Britt.
But with the $5 million transfer by the council, in addition to, we put a 0.1 mil line item in the budget, so we can take care of our capital projects and also our infrastructure, and that's a lot more than the building, sewer, all that, and the high explosive needs in IT or computer software needs or whatever. So the goal of that is to kind of build as we go, pay as we go. The hope is in 10 years that's going to save the taxpayers some, per the finance director that we have, which is great, some $30 million over the next 10 years. In fact, the finance director we have now was the guy that did the audits on most of the counties, cities, and school districts in this state. And when we had this opening, he was nice enough to apply and took the job. With Pennies 4, which I see Paul back there, I'm sure he's getting ready to unload on me. But with Pennies 4, we loaned $16 million to get that kick-started. Here again, we were not able, the only reason we were able to do that is because our general fund, unrestricted fund balance is so healthy that we had those opportunities. So we kick-started the program with $16 million, and now we plan, the 9 roads were on the paving list, which is a first for Pennies, paving, road maintenance through the work of the volunteers like Billy and Paul back there. We expect to have 9 roads not started but finished by the end of the year as far as the paving projects. We plan to address the major roads over the next 2 to 5 years with the completion of all the roads within 7 years, which is what I wanted with Pennies 3, but now as we get more practice with this, I think we're getting to that point, and there's a lot of optimism that we will be able to do that. There are 2 roads at the end of the list that may not be addressed, and this was the Citizens Committee that picked the roads. The council could only up or down it. We couldn't pick roads or change anything. But I thought 5-laning 21 was the most important thing that we should have done on there. I also serve on RFAS, which is kind of the road network for York County and part of Lancaster County. And I feel like we just need that artery to relieve the stress on 77. The other road is Neely Road, which I believe is the road in front of South Point High School, which may not be addressed. Once again, though, the council has a tremendous, and I think I see Christy Cox back here. Is there any other council members here? And Christy, would you stand? Just, and here again, for people like Christy being on the council, it's a focus of being this pay-as-you-go, growth paying for growth. And in fact, with the new millage for the tax year coming up, we expect, without doing anything, to have about a 2.5% growth, which would be almost, it'll be $750,000 without any tax adjustment. Of course, we're in the middle of a $108 million capital improvement process, and you know, there's the admin building. Moss Justice Center is the largest part of that. Magistrate's offices, the family court building, which would be a beautiful building in Rock Hill, off the Heckle Complex, now the main entrance being Main Street. But before I stop, and I see Tyler over there kind of giving me that signal as he creeps closer and closer. I get it. Well, he's learning fast. And he's still a baby and he's already got it down. But I just think of yourself as the council right now. And I've been talking to our finance director, and one thing he's proposing is a $2 million increase. So what would y'all say if he came up and said, I want to do a $2 million increase? No. Okay. What I say is prove to me that it's the right thing to do. So what he's pointing out to me, and it's the council's decision, and we'll have to vet all this stuff that he's throwing out. But with, here again, an extremely healthy general fund, we can transfer over $30 million. And with that $2 million increase, which will become $1 million increase next year, there will be a built-up fund which will allow us to pay off the capital projects in the year 2024, saving the taxpayers $9 million and taking the debt service millage from 12 mills to 0 mills. So as a conservative, when you talk to me about saving that kind of money for the taxpayer, I'm listening. So I always keep an open mind, because sometimes it makes a lot of sense. But I want to thank you again for letting me speak, and we obviously have a good man here in Tyler, because he's got this system down good.